Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel Botany. In this session we will explore one of the most important aspects of botanical nomenclature, that is author citation. Whenever a plant name is written, it is usually followed by the name of the botanist who first validly published it. This simple addition carries tremendous significance. It helps us to trace the history of the name, avoid confusion between the similar names, and maintain consistency in plant taxonomy across the world. Author citations act like signatures in scientific record, ensuring that every plant name has a clear identity and a reliable reference point. As we begin, let us understand why these citations are essential, how they are written according to the International Code of Nomenclature, and their role they play in strengthening the precision and stability of botanical naming. Let us get started. Author citation refers to the practice of writing the name of the scientist who validly published a plant name immediately after the scientific name. It is a fundamental requirement under the International Code of Nomenclature for algae, fungi, and plants. For example, when we write Mangifera indica L or Hibiscus rosa sinensis L, here the L represents Carl Linnaeus, the father of taxonomy who first described these species. Similarly, the names such as Azardirecta indica A. Jus and Coccus nucifera L carry the citations of the botanists who originally established them. This system ensures that the proper credit is given to the original author, avoids confusion when different scientists have described similar names, and maintain stability in scientific communication across the world. Today, botanists everywhere follow this standardized system which forms an integral part of the ICN. When we use author citation in botanical nomenclature, we do so to maintain clarity, precision in the scientific naming of the plants. Many species have been described more than once by the different botanists, and citing the author helps to avoid confusion by indicating which description is recognized as valid. It allows us to trace the taxonomic history of the species, especially when it has been transferred to a different genus, where both the original authors and the revising author must be acknowledged. Author citations provide a standardized system that botanists around the world can follow using the universally accepted abbreviations. This uniformity is essential in research and herbarium work, where every specimen label and floristic record depends on accurate and consistent naming. Ultimately, author citations helps us to identify the original describer, and understand the taxonomic pathway of the plant, and distinguish between the similar names proposed by the different individuals. When a species is described for the very first time by the single botanist, the author citation is simple and straightforward. Only that botanist standard abbreviation is written after the scientific name. This format, that is genus, species, author, indicate that the name is the original and validly published one. In this system, the scientific name is italicized, but the author's name is not. The abbreviation used must follow the ICN approved standard list, such as those provided by the IPNI. For example, Mangifera indica, Ocimum tuniflorum, Gloriosa superba, and Datura metal all carry the abbreviation L to show that these species were first validly described by Linnaeus. When a plant name is jointly published by two authors, both the contributors are cited together to reflect shared authorship. Their names appear in the same order as in the original publication, connected by an ampersand, which is the only symbol permitted for indicating the joint authorship, never replaced with the word and. The abbreviations used for these authors follow a standard conventions outlined in authors of plant names. Thus, the proper format becomes genus, species, author 1, ampersand, author 2, as seen in the examples such as Carex alba, Cassia fistula, and aloe vera. This style ensures accuracy, consistency, and recognition of both authors' contributions in the botanical nomenclature. When a botanical name is published by more than two authors, the International Code of Nomenclature simplifies the citation by requiring only the first author's name followed by the abbreviation et al., meaning, and others. This avoids a long, cumbersome author list while still acknowledging the collaborative work. Thus, a species name is written as the genus, the specific epithet, and the first author's name followed by et al. When a basionym is involved, the same rule applies within parentheses for the original authors before the name of the author who made the new combination. For example, names like Hoya multiflora, Solanum seaforthianum clearly shows this format. Even in the recombination, as seen in the Abbitulon indicum, the principle remains the same. These citations ensures clarity while respecting the contributions of the multiple authors involved in taxonomic processes. Parenthetical author citation is used when a species is transferred from its original genus to a new one. In such cases, the name of the original author is retained inside the parenthesis, acknowledging the person who first described the species. Outside the parenthesis, the name of the author who made the new combination is added, indicating the taxonomist responsible for placing the species in its new genus. For example, Pisum aravensis, described by the Linnaeus, was later transferred to Lathyrus by Poiret, giving the new name Lathyrus aravensis. Similarly, Acacia nilotica L was moved to Vauchelia by P.J.H. Harter and Mav, resulting in Vauchelia nilotica. Another instance is Sida rhombifolia, which RSV transferred to the genus Abbitulon, producing the new combination that is Abbitulon rhombifolium. Through this format, the botanical nomenclature preserves both the historical authorship and the modern taxonomic insight. When we look at author citations in botanical names, the presence of brackets tells an important story about the taxon's history. Brackets indicate that the original author described the species in a different genus or sometimes at a different rank than the one in which it is currently placed. The name inside the brackets belongs to the basionym author, the person who first described the species, while the name outside the bracket represents the combining author, the one who later transferred the species to its present genus. For instance, Parthenium hysterophorus, here the Linnaeus originally described the plant Eupatorium hysterophorum, and Cassini later shifted it to the genus Parthenium, which is why the bracket appear. A different situation is seen in Azadirachta indica, where A. Jussieu first described the species under another name and later transferred it to Azadirachta himself. Here, the same author appears both inside and outside the brackets, indicating what is known as self-combination. In botanical nomenclature, the term EX in author citation is used to acknowledge the situations where one botanist initially described a plant but did not validly publish the name according to the rules of ICN, and the second botanist later completed the valid publication. This system allows us to give proper historical credit. The name before X refers to the person who originally described or intended the name, while the name after the EX indicates the author who actually fulfilled all requirements for valid publication. Thus, the citation clearly reflects both the origin of the idea and the formal recognition of the taxon. For example, in Lavandula spica, Linnaeus first described the plant informally while the Miller validly published the name. Similarly, in Ficus religiosa, the initial description was given by the Linnaeus but Wall carried out the valid publication. Though such citations, the botanical community maintains transparency, accuracy, and historical continuity in naming practices. In botanical nomenclature, IN citation is used when the author who actually described a plant is different from the author who published the work in which that description appears. This format helps us to acknowledge both the botanist who prepared the species description and the one who compiled, edited, or authored the larger book or journal where the name was formally published. We use IN when one botanist introduces a new taxon, but the official publication is made within another botanist's work, thereby ensuring that both the contributions are clearly recorded. For example, in Hibiscus suratensis, Linnaeus provided the original description, while the Wilden now included it in his own publication. Similarly, in Butia monosperma, Lamarck coined the basionym, Taubert made the new combination, and the final publication appeared within the work of Engler and Prantl. This style of citation maintains transparency and preserves the historical trail of scientific authorship in plant taxonomy. In botanical nomenclature, abbreviating author names is essential because it keeps scientific names concise, standardized, and uniform across global literature. These abbreviations are not arbitrary. They follow the conventions established in authors of plant names and which is regulated through IPNI, that is International Plant Names Index. When citing authors, one must always use the officially accepted abbreviations such as L for Linnaeus, Lam for Lamarck, Benth for Bentham, etc. Importantly, only the surnames are abbreviated, never the initials of the given names, which is why Cassia Fistula L is correct, while the Cassia Fistula C Lin is incorrect. When the author's name is written in full, no period is added. For example, Senna Alata, Linnaeus, but when abbreviated, the period becomes necessary unless the abbreviation is itself a complete word as seen in white. All shortened forms like lamb, benth must end with a period. Finally, to avoid confusion when the authors share surname, distinguishing markers are added, such as Hook for William Hooker, Hook.F for his son Joseph Hooker, and similarly R.Br for Robert Brown and E.Brown for Edward Brown. This system ensures clarity, consistency, and precision in botanical naming. In botanical literature, the names of the plant authors are often presented in abbreviated form, each with a long history of taxonomic contribution. The journey begins with the core Linnaeus, whose abbreviation L stands at the foundation of the modern botanical nomenclature. Following him is Jean-Baptiste Lamarck, cited as Lam, and the influential taxonomist Anthony Lauret de Jussieu and Adrien Henry de Jussieu, represented by A. Juss and A. H. Juss, respectively. The father-son duo of the Hooker also left a strong imprint on the plant taxonomy. William Hooker, abbreviated as Hook, and Joseph Dalton Hooker, whose citation is Hook F, denote the filius or son. Equally important is Robert Brown, known by the standard abbreviation RBR. From the Indian subcontinent botanical history, we acknowledge the pioneers such as William Roxburgh, Robert Waite, Nathaniel Wallich, and John Forbes Ray. Their contemporaries include Joseph Arnold, George Bentham, John Lindley, William Griffith, and William Beddoe also played a significant role in documenting plant diversity. Lastly, alongside Robert Brown, we also note Edward Brown, cited distinctly as E. Brown. Together, these authors and the standardized abbreviations form the essential part of botanical nomenclature, ensuring precision, authenticity, and continuity in the scientific naming of the plants. In APG era, several prominent botanists have played a key role in shaping the modern plant classification. The contributions of Peter F. Stevens, often cited as P.F. Stevens, stand out for his extensive work on angiosperm phylogeny. Alongside him, Mark W. Chase, cited simply as Chase, has been instrumental in advancing molecular systematics. The field has also benefited from the insights of Brent D. Mischler, referred as the Mischler, and taxonomic expertise Gordon MacPherson, known in citations as MacPherson. Another important contributor is K. Tolin, cited as Tolin, whose work has enriched our understanding of several plant groups. Similarly, David J. McBride, commonly abbreviated as MAB, has made significant strides in botanical literature and taxonomy. The list also includes P.J.H. Horter, cited as P.J.H. Horter, whose contributions add further depth to the collaborative effort that defined the APG framework. Together, these scholars represent the scientific foundation upon which the modern angiosperm classification continues to grow. In preparing and understanding the botanical nomenclature, several trusted references guide students and researchers. One of the most authoritative among them is the International Code of Nomenclature for Algae, Fungi, and Plants, commonly called as the Shenzhen Code, authored by Tourland and his colleagues. For verifying plant names and author citations, online databases such as IPNI, the International Plant Name Index, Tropicos, Missouri Botanical Gardens Plant Name Database, and POWO, that is the Plants of the World Online by the Royal Botanical Garden Kew, are invaluable resources. Another important reference is the authors of the plant names by Brumet, Orke, and Powell CE, which remains the standard source for the author abbreviations. For broader context and deeper understanding of the plant systematics, two widely used textbooks are Plant Systematics by Simpson and Plant Systematics, a phylogenetic approach by Jude and his colleagues. Together, these sources provide a strong foundation for learning, teaching, and applying botanical nomenclature. In botanical nomenclature, author citation serves as an essential tool for clarity, accuracy, and historical tracing of the plant names. By indicating the scientists who first validly published a name and, when necessary, the authors who later revised or reclassified it, author citations prevent ambiguity and ensure that every botanical name carries a clear and verifiable identity. As we conclude, remember that these citations are not mere formalities. They are a record of scientific contributions, a link to the original descriptions, and a cornerstone for maintaining stability and consistency in plant taxonomy. Understanding and using author citations correctly strengthens the communication among the botanists and upholds the integrity of the International Code of Nomenclature. Thank you for joining this session.